Recording started. Recording started. So we do a little something different here. So let me break it down. Let me break it down. So first off, my name is Bess Parks. I am the host of the Just Be podcast. That is what you are watching now. If this is your first time watching, thank you very, very much. This is a YouTube summer series for single moms level up. That's who the presenter of this is. So I am the CEO and the founder of Single Moms Level Up. I like to say hashtag Single Moms Level Up, and also the Single Moms Club private Facebook group. Yeah, so here we are. I think this is episode 8, could be 9. There's some things changing around in my life, so things are a little bit of chaotic. So I'm just about sure this is episode 8. So here we are. So anyway, I'm trying out something new because my laptop is just not working right now. And I also realized that this is a good opportunity for me to check out how this works with my phone. The crazy thing is I'm looking at the video and looking at myself right now, and this is better than my laptop, y'all. And this is my cell phone. So I'm getting ready to attend an event in Arlington, Texas. You may have heard about this event. It is the Woman Evolve event with Sarah Jakes Roberts, who, if you don't know who she is Bishop T.D. Jakes' daughter. I didn't know who she was. I had heard and knew who Bishop Jakes was, and I knew of his other daughter, Cora, and his wife, but I actually didn't know about the sons, and I didn't know about Sarah. So I hadn't gotten that involved with who he was and his life and all that stuff. My mom used to watch him, so that's how I was aware of who Bishop T.D. Jakes was. And during a time when I was God separated me from the church that I grew up in, and in order for me to introduce me to the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit, and I try to not say ghost because it's not a scary thing, but introduce me to the Holy Spirit, which lives inside of all of us, each and every one of us. We just got to tap into it, and that's where our extra strength, that's where this extra, and I said extra, that's where the extra strength that we get as moms, especially single moms, comes from. So past us being tired, if you push past that tiredness, there is an extra strength that we can pull from that will allow us to do what we need to do. And that is known as the single mom's mantra. We do what we need to do, you know? But anyway, I'm about to attend this event. It's next month. And this is actually a really good opportunity for me to see how this works with my cell phone. I actually don't think, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think I'll be there on Monday. And the new episodes here drop on Monday. But I may create a special episode about that event and let that be the podcast that I drop. Because I may see some people and stuff like that, and so I may have some things to drop in on Monday, Just Be podcast, and maybe I could do some interviews. Oh, that would be so awesome if I could do some interviews with some people and tell them, hey, we got a podcast that's going on, and maybe I can get in and do some interviews with some people. That would be amazing. Who would I want to interview? A lot of the guest speakers that are going to be there are people that I wanted to see in the first place. But now, for whatever reason, it's all coming together, and all the people that I ever wanted to see and participate in something that they're involved in and be a part of it. They're all going to be at this event, Woman Evolve. So this is the first time in a long, super, super long time that I invested in myself as a single mom. No, I invested in myself, regardless of the single mom, but invested in me. So I believe that there's five areas that we have in our lives that we need to pay attention to and invest in and be intentional in, that will make our lives so much better. So much better, where we can work from rest instead of working to rest. So I know that is, for me, that was a concept I just am starting to live out in my life, is working from rest and not to rest. I had to do that today. So I call today Mindful Monday. And the reason why I call it Mindful Monday is because on Mondays, I need to be cognizant of who I am. Am I okay? It's my check-in day. So it's my check-in day. And so I want to remind other single moms to check in with yourself once a week. If you are part of the Single Moms Club, you know the whole backstory to that, the difference between self-love and self-care, and how we talked to a special guest that we had back in 2020, who she is a licensed counselor and relationship coach. And she explained all of that. I'm not going to go that far into what she, everything that she taught about it. But basically, the overall concept is this: self-care is everything we do on the outside of our bodies. The pedicures, the facials, our nails, massages, all of that stuff. Even exercising is all self-care. That's everything we do for the outside of our body to take care of the outside of our body. Self-love is different. That's everything on the inside of our bodies. It's our minds, it's our hearts, it's our souls, it's our will, it's our spirits. It's all of the things that are on the inside of us that we need to take care of ourselves. Ourselves, and that is self-love. That self-love and self-care is outside. Self-love is the inside, the emotions, all of that. It's all of that. So I've been learning, and God's been working with me with my emotions, and getting me to a place where I am back in control with my emotions, but completely this time. So I, as a child, had asthma and allergies really bad. So I had asthma and allergies really bad, to the point that I was in and out of the hospital a lot, took a lot of medication, was getting a lot of treatments at the hospital. It was a lot. I don't know how my mother did all that. And she's a single mom too. But she did. And so she took care of me and did those things. I don't know how that all happened. I really don't. Never thought to ask her how she did all that, because I didn't think to ask her. But she did what she needed to do, and she took care of me. And I was a very sick child. I still have asthma and allergies, but now I'm know more about how I can manage it, and I'm aware of my body. And when it's reacting to something, what I need to do, how I need to calm myself, whatever it is that I need to do, I know what to do. Because when I was a child, my mom made a point to, whatever came up that was that was a way of me to help manage my allergies and manage my asthma attacks and whatever else. She was making sure that I had access to all of that stuff. So I don't know, am I like looking in a weird spot? It looks like I'm looking in a weird spot, but anyway, sorry. Smaller screen, and I'm wearing my other glasses. So I'm not wearing the big, I call them Magoo glasses. These glasses are the ones that I wear, like when I'm driving and just, walking around or whatever. The other glasses are more for reading and on the computer and everything. And basically, obviously, on the phone, but we gonna work with it. I was trying to be cute, y'all. I was trying to be cute. and not look all nerdy and stuff. You know, I even put my earrings on here that I don't think I've really worn these earrings, but maybe a handful of times. But anyway, squirrel moment. I'm back. Um, so yeah, with my emotions and all that stuff. So self-care, self-love. So this is the first time that I have ever invested in myself when it comes to my self-love. When it comes to my self-love, this is the first time I invested money, and that's what I mean about invested money, and my time into something that was for my soul care, for my inner being care, for my mind, my heart, my soul, my everything on the inside. This is the first time that I've invested in myself in that way, in a long time. As a matter of fact, it's been over 2 decades since I've done this type of investment for myself, but it's time. It's time that I do that because I now have 2 young adults and a grandchild who also, happy birthday, Kingston. My grandson is 1 year old today, 1 year old today, not years, 1 year old today. And we celebrated his birthday with cake and ice cream, of which I made that cake for him. But it's been a long time coming. It's been a long time coming, and I know I need to take better care of myself. I'm working on the outside, so I need to work on the inside as well. God's been working on the inside of me and changed a lot of things in me. Did a lot of heart healing with me that I needed. I needed it. I needed it to happen. And I thought I had taken care of some of the things and that I was over some things, but God made that very clear in 2020 that, girl, no, you not. Lay down right here and let me help you. So God did that for me and started me on a heart healing journey back in 2020. Can't say that it's completely finished because it continues to keep um, moving me from different level to different level, and I keep getting up higher and higher. And I now just have a desire to make sure my heart is healed, my motives are calm, and my phone is like over here. Anyway, but anyway, so this is where I've done that. So I wanted to talk about rest. Rest is actually a verb and a noun. And a noun. I didn't know this. Something that because of something that God just put on my heart to, hey, go find out what this really means. So rest is a noun and a verb. So rest as a verb: to take one's rest, to sleep, to slumber, to doze, to repose, to compose oneself for sleep, lie down, lounge, let down, ease off, recuperate, rest up, relax, settle down, dream, be comfortable, stretch out, nap. I like that last one, nap. I take naps, y'all. Naps are my friend. It's my daughter who introduced me to naps. You know, when I had my daughter, now, you know, I had my son first and then I had my daughter. And when I had my daughter, having 2 kids and being a single mom, that's a whole different thing. For me, it was. I don't know if it's for everybody, but for me, it was so much more. And I had asked the doctor because I just did not have a lot of energy. And he says, well, you got 2 kids. Okay, that's normal. And I was like, it is? I thought something was wrong with me because I've always been so high energy and good, ready to go. But child, I was dragging. But anyway, I got that definition from the Webster New World Thesauruses. Thesauruses. No, I didn't. Thesaurus by Charlton Laird. And that's where that definition came from. And then definition of rest as a noun. Some of these they repeat, but notice the changes: repose, quiet, quietness, ease, tranquility, slumber, calm, calmness, peace, peacefulness, relaxation, recreation, dreaminess, comfort, breathing spell. Breathing spell is what I said. Leisure, composure, intermission, stop, stay, stand still, hush, silence. That came from the Webster's New World Thesaurus is by Charleston Laird. So you see those two differences. There's some differences between rest as a noun and rest as a verb. So rest can be something that we do, and then rest can be something that we are. So I know that I'm most of the time and most of my life, I have been a restful person, very quiet and composed and calm and peaceful. And a lot of people like that. Um, and relaxation, people just are at ease with me and seem to want to tell me a lot of stuff that I didn't ask you for all that, but they seem to want to talk to me. Um, and I just I'm a good listener and I let people talk, and I don't repeat stuff, to other people. That's just not, I've just never been that way. I've been somebody that you could trust to say something to me, and I don't repeat things. I just allow you that time to let out whatever you need to let out, and to just be. Yeah. You hear that? Just be. I allow people to just be who they are and how they are, and not try to change them. So anyway, so I'm going to this Woman Evolve event in next month, September. And so I I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about it because I'm probably going to go stay in a hotel. I'm saying probably because things might change. I might end up staying with somebody that is in the area. I'm renting a car. I'm taking my grandson up to his other grandmother so that he could spend some time with her for the weekend while I attend the conference, and then we'll drive back. Taking some time off from work. I'm using my PTO. Yes, y'all, use your PTO to take care of you, not just the kids. So I always used my sick time, PTO, whatever you want to call it, personal time. I always would save that up for the times when my kids might get sick. So thank God that my kids and I don't get sick that often. And I believe a lot of it is accredited to what we eat, and how I changed things. I changed how I ate, and I changed how I slept. I changed how I did. A whole lot of change happened when I had my kids. And I know you guys, you single moms out there, feel the same way. A whole big change. It's a life-changing event, and then it's constantly a changing thing that happens. So there are a lot of things that changed, but I made a point to change the way that I ate. I knew I wasn't eating healthy. I was just eating whatever tasted good. Mm-hmm. I was a foodie, man. I was a foodie. And I was one of those people that could eat anything and not gain weight. So it wasn't until I hit 30 that my metabolism changed, and I was not totally aware of what was happening, but I knew something was going on with my body, and the doctors never even pointed it out. My mom didn't even know what was going on, but I just felt a change happening in my body. And I know now, looking back, as they say, hindsight is 2020. Now looking back, I realized my metabolism changed when I turned 30. And I wasn't up to date with that. So I was still eating the way I had been eating, but now I was starting to gain weight. I had always been a very slender, thin child, person. I'd always been that way. Just my metabolism was very high because I could eat what I wanted to, and did not, pack on any pounds. But anyway, so, being that way and eating the way that I was eating, and sometimes I wouldn't eat, and I just would go with whatever. And if I'm getting involved in some type of project or whatever that I'm working on and I forget to eat, it was that type of thing. But now that I was pregnant, I couldn't forget to eat, because when I was pregnant with my son, I had morning sickness, and the doctor told me that one of the ways to help you through your morning sickness is to eat on a regular basis. And to eat small meals throughout the day. She's like, definitely some saltine crackers, keep those on hand. eat some fruit, eat little small snack meals throughout the day. Mind you, I was working with, I'll just put it out there. I was working with FedEx as a courier. And so I don't know how I was going to do all that. And I'm in and out of this truck all the time. But it was a crazy time in my life. But I made it through because I'm still here and my kids are here and they're healthy. So it's all good. But I've learned how to rest. I've learned how to rest. In my time of rest and how I learned and got to this point of learning what rest was when my sister passed away in 2007. I had two young kids. My sister passed away and my mom was in a nursing home. So my sister, it was a sudden thing. She was fine, Friday night, and then Sunday, it ends up I find her and she has passed on to glory, and I find her with my kids, watching that. My daughter was only 2. My son was like 6 or 7. So he remembers that. I don't know how much he remembers, because I think he suppresses that memory a lot, but he remembers that situation happened. And he told me recently that he was really upset that he did not get to go to the funeral, but I didn't allow him to go to the funeral because his birthday was that weekend of the funeral. And I was like, I don't want him I don't want his birthday to be that way, to be a remembrance of when his aunt died. And that was a sad moment. And I didn't want that to be attached to his birthday for the rest of his life. So I sent him with his dad and asked his dad, hey, give him a birthday party, make it a big deal, and do all of that, because I don't want this to be how he remembers his birthday and for it to be a sad thing when it's should be a happy moment in a celebration of him being here yet another year. So his dad did that for me, and I appreciated that, because we had just broke up, y'all. We had just broke up the week before, 2 weeks before. And we broke up and we were no longer together, but I asked him if he could take our kids, my son and my daughter, if he could take the kids, and because I didn't want them at the funeral. I didn't want them to be at the funeral. I didn't know how I was going to respond with the funeral. I, for the first time, had to bring all these funeral things together. And afterwards, after the funeral, after everybody left, after the loving care that my friends and family gave me during that time of my sister passing away unexpectedly was amazing. Unbelievably amazing. Yes, there were some moments in there people reacted different ways, but I allowed them to have their moment and have their reaction to my sister passing away, but I had to keep moving forward. But it was after that I found out what rest was, because I finally stopped running so much and going here, there, here, there, here, there, here, there, and just going, and just had an opportunity to lay down and rest. Because what happened was, the following week, when I went back to work, I got laid off. So this is how my life change happened. I left the kid's dad one week. The next week, my sister passed away. The week after that, I lost my job. This was 2007, October of 2007. These things happened. There was yet another recession that was happening, and I lost my job, got laid off, actually, or whatever, furloughed, whatever they want to call it, because I was part of the building industry in where I worked, and because the housing crash in California, I got laid off, and there was a whole bunch of us, and so it was hard to find a job in my field unless I was downtown. But in California, downtown means at least an hour and a half to 2-hour drive, and me getting from downtown to me living where I was living out, I guess you'd call it out in the suburbs, I couldn't make it to pick up my kids on time. So things just went differently. I learned how to do, I ended up taking some classes. I took sewing at the continued adult education with the city that I was in, which is, the city that I was in. I went and did that. And so I took a sewing class. I took a sign language class. I took not a cooking class, but a cake decorating class. I took, what else did I do? I took an upholstery class, and I did all these things so that it would fill up my day. And that's how I learned to rest. I learned how to work from rest, because I was definitely resting at home, because these classes happen. Um, uh, I had like 2 classes on one day, one on another day, two, like it was like that Monday through Friday. And so I did all of that, and then learned how to work from rest, because I definitely got a lot of rest, because those classes were only an hour or so, um, or a couple of hours for the cake decorating one. And that's where I got my skills. And so the thing is that when I made my grandson's cake, um, I all this came back to me about how I learned how to work from rest, and that I needed to go back to doing that, because today, it ended up, the scheduling got changed, and my grandson's with his dad for his birthday, which is cool, because we did a birthday celebration yesterday with his mom and his godmother. And it's all good, because I needed to rest. And once I finally just breathed and took a deep breath, that one said breathing spell, which is a noun, and I let myself relax, I realized I was exhausted and tired. So because I was exhausted and tired, I allowed myself to rest. So I'm one of those people that I will get going, 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 and just keep going until I exhaust myself. And so that's where I was at earlier today, but I made a point to make myself lay down and rest. Put my feet up, rest. And for me, the way to get myself to do that is to watch a good movie. So I watched a couple good movies today. Make sure that I ate, drink some water, which reminds me, I need to just keep drinking water. Um, and I cleaned up a little bit here and there, but didn't do too much. Um, and then my grandson is coming back tonight, and we'll hang out and get him to bed and a bath and all that stuff, and get our routine started, because school is starting. And so school starting for me is not anymore that I got to get some kids to school, but I live where I live. I'm in a school zone area. So as soon as I come out of my subdivision, I hit the junior high, I hit the high school, and then I come around the corner and get to the main highway, and still school zone. So that slows me down with my way of work. So I have to get earlier. Now I got my grandson on a schedule where I've got enough time to make it through the school, go drop him off, um, and then go get to work and for me, early on time. And this routine that I have to get my grandson myself in. And so when my kids were young, when my kids were young, the week before school, or maybe a couple weeks before school, we would start practicing going to bed earlier, getting up, having some cereal. I just don't, I had my kids set alarms when they got old enough to have an alarm, and get up, have some cereal, and yeah, you can go back to sleep, but get your body in the habit of going to sleep earlier and doing, getting into that new waking up and going to sleep routine. So we would get into that routine and do that at least a week to 2 weeks before school started. So where I am, school is starting next week, and so I got to get into that routine of that. And so this week is all practice. So hopefully by the end of the week, I pray by the end of the week we will have it down, and we'll be good for next week when school starts, y'all, because life keeps going. Life keeps going. Even if we sit still, life keeps going. But we need to rest. We need to rest and restore our bodies. If we don't rest and restore our bodies, allow our bodies to restore, we can't keep moving forward at the speed that we as single moms go, which is like, just like, I don't know. Oh my gosh. There goes that postnasal drip. I can always tell when the seasons are getting ready to change because my eyes will start acting weird and I start getting way more postnasal drip. Summer is about to end and we're about to go into fall and all that stuff, and it wreaks havoc on my allergies. And I usually have to start doubling up on my medication, which is going to have to start happening because I'm starting to get stuffy and all that stuff, and my 24-hour medication doesn't always run through. But anyway, the whole point and the whole episode of what we have this week is rest. We need to work from rest and not to rest. Apparently, I need to stop talking because I probably need to blow my nose, and I'm not going to do that on camera. I don't do that unless I have to. But I want you to learn how to rest, single mom. Learn how to rest. Let's level up and get that new perspective of what rest is, and make sure you check in with yourself once a week. Do some self-care, do some ask yourself questions. Am I okay? If I'm not okay, check in with your feelings and emotions. And if you're feeling something, get to the root of what's going on. And if you can't do it on your own, it's okay to go to a counselor and get some help with that. So I want to encourage you. Let's go from just surviving to CEO in every area of our lives through self-care, self-love, and supporting one another. Hashtag single moms level up. I'll see y'all next week. Just be.